Hi everybody, Mrs. Pesic here. We are continuing with our look at section 8.5, and on this video we are going to talk about how to solve quadratic equations by taking square roots and also by quadratic formula. So let's take a look at an example of how to solve quadratic equations by taking square roots. Remember, when we're all done with this section, you will have 4 ways to solve quadratic equations. So to solve quadratic equations by taking square roots, we're going to start this problem by getting the binomial squared by itself. So that means we need to get rid of this 3 here. So we're going to divide both sides by 3. The 3's divide out, and we have x minus 2 quantity squared equaling 3. At this point, we want to solve for x. We do not want to multiply all this out, using FOIL. We don't want to do that. Instead, we just want to solve for x in the easiest way possible. So let's do the inverse operation of squaring, which is taking square root. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. But when we take the square root of both sides of an equation, we need to remember plus or minus. So this means the square rooting here and the squaring here cancel each other out. So we just have x minus 2 remaining on the left side of the equation. And on the right side, we have plus or minus square root of 3. So to finish this problem up, we need to get x by itself. So we're going to add 2 to both sides of the equation. Let's put the 2 in front of the plus or minus, because otherwise it might look like square root of 32 or something. Or it might look like it's underneath the radical. So our final answer here is going to be x equaling 2 plus or minus square root of 3. That means really there's 2 solutions for this quadratic equation that we started with. 2 plus square root of 3 is one solution, and 2 minus square root of 3 is the other solution. All right, let's take a look at how to solve quadratic equations by using the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula, if I can remind you, goes like this. If you're solving the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, you want to know what x values will make that equation true. It's going to be found by doing negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, so in this first example that we're solving using quadratic formula, we need to identify our a, our b, and our c. The a is equal to 2, the b is equal to negative 4, and the c is equal to negative 5. And at this point, we're going to plug in the numbers and see what we get. So we're going to have, in this formula, so we're going to have x equals opposite of b, so that's opposite of a negative 4, plus or minus square root of negative 4 quantity squared. Please make sure you use the parentheses around the negative 4 because it does make a difference. And then minus 4 times a times c. So that's 4 times 2 times a negative 5. And all of this is going to be over 2 times a, so that's over 2 times 2. At this point, we're cleaning this up a little bit, and we get x equals opposite of a negative 4 is a positive 4, plus or minus negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 16. And here I have minus 8 times a negative 5, so it's really going to be 8 times 5 is 40, so I have plus 40, and this is all over 2 times 2 is 4. Can I divide out this 4 here with this 4? That would be a big no, because this 4 right here is a term, not a factor, so I cannot divide that out. So let's get rid of that. Instead, what I can do is simplify a little bit further here by doing 4 plus or minus square root of 56 all over 4, but I'm going to split this up into 2 separate fractions. At this point, slide this over here. At this point, we can scoot this next example down a little bit. We can rewrite this as 4 over 4. Now I can divide those out. I have 1 plus or minus square root of 56 over 4. But 4 goes into 56, so I can split this up into square root of 4 times square root of, let's see, what would that be? 14? Does that sound right? Okay, and so that means that I now can write this as 1 plus or minus 2 rad 14, and that's over 4. And now it's okay to divide out this 2 here with this 4, because that 2 is a factor in that numerator. So my final answer is going to be 1 plus or minus square root of 14 over 2. All right? Okay, and then how about this example here? If I'm solving 8x squared minus 24x plus 18 equals 0, I'm trying to solve using quadratic formula, but these numbers, I think I can make my problem a little easier by dividing everything by 2, because 2 goes into all of these. So I'm going to divide everything by 2. I get a 4x squared minus 12x plus 9 equals 0. Now I'm going to use that same formula. In this case, my a is 4, my b is negative 12, my c is 9. So when I plug this in, I get negative b, that's going to be opposite of negative 12, plus or minus square root of negative 12 in parentheses squared minus 4 times a times c. That's 4 times 4 times 9. The whole thing is over 2 times a, so that's 2 times 4. At this point, we are going to have x equaling 12 plus or minus square root of 144 minus, I get 4 times 9, that's 4 times 36. I think that turns out to be 144 again. And so this is all over 8, but I'm going to split it up and make each one of these over 8. So I have those 2 separate fractions like we were talking about before. And so here the 12 over 8 can reduce to, 4 goes in that twice, into this 3 times. So I have 3 over 2 plus or minus square root of 0 over 8. Well, square root of 0 is 0, so that means I really have only one solution for this equation, and that would be 3/2. All right, so really 3/2 plus 0, 3/2 minus 0. So there's only one solution for this problem. Okay, that completes our notes for today. There are some homework problems for you to do. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.